No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings.
That's my space. Excuse me, with all due respect, it took me 3 hours to shovel that out. That's my space. Excuse me? I don't care if we're married. That is my space. That is my space. You get your own space. We'll discuss this at dinner. Thank you so much for being here today, because with your help, ladies and gentlemen, with your help, brothers and sisters, we are going to take back the Congress. We are going to take back the Senate. And we are going to take back the White House. And we are going to take back the Supreme Court and overturn Citizens United. The Supreme Court is not helping us, ladies and gentlemen, with affordability. The Supreme Court ruled that money is actually a form of free speech. Well, if money is a form of free speech, how much speech does the middle class have? How much speech do the poor have? How much speech do students with tens of thousands of dollars in student loans have? If money is a form of free speech, then lack of money has got to be considered lack of speech. So I am suggesting on April 15th, when the federal government wants our tax dollars, I suggest we all write letters to Washington basically saying, listen, we'd love to pay you, but to be perfectly honest, we're speechless. But with your help, we're not speechless. And you know what's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen? For the last 50 years, the conservative movement in this country, they've taken God, they've taken the flag, and today, brothers and sisters, we're here to take it back. Please welcome.
You got this. Thank you, Massachusetts revolutionaries, for coming out today. Because across our nation, we are witnessing a dangerous attempt to concentrate power in the hands of one man, Donald Trump.
No kings. And one reason we really don't need no kings is because it probably...
Take a look in this closet, skeleton stack.
Trump and his private ICE police are strutting around the streets of our cities, gassing little babies, throwing people to the ground, disappearing people, shooting people in the back with no accountability. Will you fight back? Donald Trump, on his own, has sent our brave service members overseas to die in another endless war. And he's spending $1 billion a day to drop bombs halfway around the world. Will you fight back? Donald Trump, the guy who promised on day one that he would lower costs, but instead has decreed tariffs, wars, and a billionaire tax that has increased the price of your groceries, of your health care, of your gasoline, of your fuel oil, of your homes. He is driving up costs all across America. Will you fight back? And here comes the big one. Donald Trump thinks he's a king. Will you fight back? Will you fight back? Will you fight back? Donald Trump thinks he can steal our democracy. We are here, right here in Massachusetts, to prove Donald Trump is wrong. The people have the power, not Donald Trump. We're going to do this together. Stay in the fight.
When democracy is under attack, what do? Come on, y'all. When democracy is under attack, what do? When racial justice is under attack, what do? When women's rights are under attack, what do? When trans rights are under attack, what do? When voting rights are under attack, what do? When democracy is under attack, what do? So the next person I'm bringing to the stage is someone who's always stood up, who's always fought back, fought for the little guy, the little guy, the little person, the little people, the working people. I recently had a trip to Washington, D.C., and I had a chance to go meet with him and talk with him. And one of the things that we talked about was the threat of voting rights. And we talked about how people in our households would not be able to vote if this terrible Save America Act gets passed. He recognized that. He understood that. He empathized with that. And so the question to him is, how will you safeguard free and fair elections in November? Brothers and sisters, community members, give it up for our Senator Ed Markey.
Thank you, Massachusetts revolutionaries, for coming out today. Because across our nation, we are witnessing a dangerous attempt to concentrate power in the hands of one man, Donald Trump.
That the FBI unquestionably found to be credible. The DOJ tried to hide reports of 3 of the 4 interviews that this victim gave to the FBI, but pressure from the media and Congress forced them to disclose them. And now we know why. She credibly accuses Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her when she was between 13 and 15. In each of her interviews, this victim recited the same account of her interaction with Donald Trump. On August 7th, 2019, she explained that she was between 13 and 15 when she was left alone with Donald Trump, who, quote, mentioned something to the effect of, "Let me teach you how little girls are supposed to be." Trump unzipped his pants and put her head down, quote, down to his penis, bit the S out of it. Trump struck the victim and said words to the effect of, "Get this little B the hell out of here." the victim advised that she bit Trump's penis because he disgusted her. She provided some additional details in the next interview 2 weeks later, and then a month later, she met again with the FBI and asked, quote, what the point would be of providing the information at this point in her life when there was a strong possibility nothing could be done about it. She didn't speak to the FBI again. But the FBI certainly found her story credible. In a 21-page PowerPoint presentation that the FBI made to prosecutors, they included this victim's testimony. They would not have done so if they did not find the evidence credible, which means that Attorney General Bondi lied when she stated under oath that there is no evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime. But we're just scratching the surface, because the Epstein files also reveal that Donald Trump has made false statements over the past quarter century about Jeffrey Epstein. We know in 2002 he called him a terrific guy and said, quote, it is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. In a birthday card 2003 that Donald Trump gave to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday, Donald wrote for himself that we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Enigmas never aged. Have you noticed that? A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret. But in that same year, Palm Beach County opened an investigation into Epstein that eventually was turned over to the FBI. The investigation became public in 2006, and the Palm Beach County police chief received a call quickly after from Donald Trump, where Trump told him, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this. What innocent person calls the police chief about an investigation upon just learning about it? The recent documents also show that Jeffrey Epstein emailed Ghislaine Maxwell and said, quote, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Redacted victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Trump also denied that he ever went on Epstein's plane. But of course, the Southern District of New York said that he was on his plane 8 times, often with young women. The reason why this matters is because we don't have half of the Epstein files. And if the Attorney General is covering this up in such a degree that she is redacting things from Congress, that she then, redacting things from the public that she then shows to Congress, what else is she covering up? And I would just show that this document here was redacted to the public, it was unredacted to Congress, and it completely disputes everything that Donald Trump has said about Jeffrey Epstein, about what he knew about the allegations, about his disgusting behavior, about whether he'd ever been to Epstein's house, saying, I may have been there with my wife. Asked if any young girls were there. No. He may have had children of guests, but that's it. Well, we know that's not the case. Now, why is this important? Because if the Attorney General is covering up this information that she then reveals to Congress, what else is she covering up about Donald Trump's involvement in the Epstein files? I yield back.
Members are reminded to refrain, again, from engaging in personal.